is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys the grand finals of the recent Sacanime Pokemon OU singles tournament that I won last month. We are going back up in a rematch against John, who is using that same Mega Slowbro bulky team that I just hate to fight against. These Pokemon are just so bulky, and our last game was super long. I ended up winning it by PP stalling his Slowbro and setting up. And I know some of you guys didn't like that, but I mean, you guys can't blame me. This is an actual tournament setting, so we're just gonna hop right into this one. This one is actually like twice as long because I have to PP out even more Pokemon. But instead of last game where we like danced around each other and learned each other's tech, and then finally agreed that like it's gonna be Suicune versus Slowbro, we're just gonna start this one off by going Suicune Slowbro right from the beginning. Well, I mean, I go Darmanitan, but Darmanitan can just U-turn straight into Suicune. I think using a Choice Scarf lead that has potential for U-turn or Volt Switch, that's such a Gen 4 thing to do, but it's always going to be good. There's no way that this is never just going to be a bad play to lead with a Pokemon that's fast that has U-turn. So right away, I concede a bit of momentum because he's going to be able to get a potential Scald or Calm Mind off, but I go right into my Suicune and I'm like, alright, this is the game you want to play? We're going to play it. I will use my pressure ability to its fullest and I will PP stall your Slowbro, and then from there, once I've completely, like, made it so you've had to struggle, I mean, the struggle is going to be pretty real this game, so yeah, that's pretty much the game. So what happens here is he has a couple Calm Minds off now. I'm just going to be fishing for burns. He's eventually going to be fishing for burns. I think he actually gets his burn first, but it's completely fair that like he burns me before I burn him, because I think in the game we played before, I went like 4 for 4 in burns. Like I was just like 4 burns in a row, like pop, pop, pop. So we're continuing just to throw Scalds on each other. Remember, he has a Calm Mind advantage on me, and I think this is where he actually burns me. Let's see. Let's see. Do you burn me here? There we go. So he gets his burn. I don't really have to rest yet. Remember, I want to Calm Mind as well. I want to match that. I want to be able to PP stall him out, but the lesser amount of Scalds I have to burn on burning him is actually better because I still need enough Scalds. I still need about 8 or 9 Scalds to sweep his team. So that's definitely something I have to keep in the back of my mind. So this is where I get my burn, and from here, I just use Calm Mind, and then once I get like 6 Calm Minds off, I'll start resting. And since this is a PP stall situation where my pressure ability is taking over, I'm not even really going to use Sleep Talk, because I'm only just going to let him tick out from burn, and I'm just going to wait forever. So that is pretty much what is going to happen in this game for the next 25 turns. So I'm gonna speed it up. I'm just going to skip everything. We're going to go all the way to the end of the 20s, and yeah, I mean, I know you guys don't want to see that, and I could cast it. I could cast it till the cows come home, but there's nothing really to show that you guys haven't already seen a million times. I'm not in the business of bringing you guys like recycled content like that. So if you guys, for those of you that don't know, Suicune has pressure. It's an ability that makes all of my opponents PP cost a double, and because of that, I'm just going to sit there and not attack. I'm going to use rest and not even use Sleep Talk, and I'm going to wait for him to PP out. So you can see we are still exactly where we left off, and this is like 20-something turns later. There's like a couple turns left, and then we'll get back into the game. So you see I'm resting, I'm getting kind of low. It's at this point that I can start Sleep Talking because he's relatively out of attacks. He didn't really manage his PP correctly. I don't think he knew I was PP stalling him until like you know, later on, but he was like not using Calm Minds. He was like trying to scald me and trying to like Fire Blast me and stuff. So he finally switches his Slowbro out, comes in with his Excadrill. So Excadrill has a potential really good matchup here. If he gets a couple well-timed Earthquakes while I'm asleep, he can definitely do that damage. You see, he does about a third, maybe roughly 25% with that Earthquake. So if those start critting right after I use a rest, and I don't get lucky with these Sleep Talks, I'm actually in for a world of hurt. And at this point, I think I have like 8 or 9 Scalds left. So also, I can PP out of Scald and then be reliant on Sleep Talk to actually use Scald for me. So that's another thing that even if I run out of Scalds, I still have potentially more Scalds in the back if RNG is on my side. So I actually wake up, I think, I crit the Excadrill even though I don't need it, speaking of RNG. Definitely don't need that. This is a +6 Suicune by this point. I think at this point I've probably used about 30 Calm Minds, you know, because I was just PP stalling him out. So if they did go higher than 6, oh my goodness. So it's funny that I'm gonna have to use rest this turn, and this Scizor, you know how I talked about the struggle is real. Well, Scisor's struggle is worse than some of the other Pokemons because he is Superpower Scizor, and this is actually, for you guys that don't know, you can see it after I take that damage. This is a Choice Banded Scizor, pretty obvious after the fact that I took about 45% from a Superpower. That's not even stab, this is a full HP defense Suicune, so there's no way that Superpower should be doing that much unless he's Choice Banded. So I'm like, if he's Choice Banded, he just dug his own grave, because you only get 5 of those if you're not PP maxed. So he goes for a second Superpower, that's technically 4 PP used, thanks to my pressure ability. And, I mean, each time he's lowering his attack even more, and that he'd have to crit me, like, right here. You know, he'd have to have, actually, he would have had to crit me right there, I think, because crits would have went through his attack drop and done 1.5 more damage. So I go for another Sleep Talk. I don't even remember what I hit, but it's probably nothing, yeah. Hit my millionth Calm Mind for the millionth time. And he goes for, I think this is his last superpower. And this is the one that had to have crit. You know, I gave him the option. I was like, yo, dude, like, I could have switched my Suicune out, but I'm sticking with Suicune till the end. I mean, I started with the Suicune, well, started with our main team, but I came in with Suicune, I set up, I'm not the one that has to switch. I'm just going to pop a rest, because remember, we're PP stalling these guys. I know he's using a Choice Band, so I don't have to go for Scald. I can just go back up to full and watch him suffer. So Scizor has no moves left. Scizor uses Struggle, and that is not a very good move. He does like 3 times the damage to himself that he did to me, and my lefties are just going to laugh at that. So Scizor is in a pretty bad spot. I know he's going to have to withdraw, so Scizor is out of here. But this guy still has a ton of really bulky Pokemon, and it's at this point, like, there's a ton of people watching our game. It's pretty hyped, even though it's like a pretty stall game. And at this point, he's just tilted. This guy is tilted. His like Slowbro didn't work. His Scizor's struggling. Mostly people are watching my version of the game instead of his, and like, you can tell that it's definitely going to start to affect his play. So he went into Sylveon here, and speaking of Sylveon, this is a Choice Specs Sylveon. So he had both a Choice Band and a Choice Specs in his team. It'd been funny if the Extra had a Choice Scarf. That'd be really hilarious, even though I doubt it. So Sylveon's going to withdraw after seeing that Specs Hyper Voice did literally no damage. And he's going to go in with Mandibuzz here. I think he probably should have stayed in with Sylveon, but he's going to start switching a lot, and that's one thing you just don't do in this situation, because all of his Pokemon are bulky enough to weather like one big Scald, even from a +6 Suicune. I think what he should have been doing here is just staying in with these Pokemon, trying to get Fish for crits like right back at me, but you know, it's not going to work. He switches out his Mandibuzz, and what he's doing when he switches out Mandibuzz is he's just letting me get a free hit, like a free KO on a secondary Pokemon. Like this Porygon 2, it's bulky enough to live through a Scald. He has like a shot if he wants to go for like a crit tri-attack to give me like really low, and then like the second Pokemon can crit as well. So he's definitely not playing to his outs here. He's on tilt a little bit. I get the burn, and that's like just a nail in the coffin. Like there's no way you can come back from this. Suicune is in full effect. You know, I don't really know what to say. I think Suicune's really cool, and it's my only real wall other than Togekiss, who's like more of a hazard remover. So it sucks 6 wall guy couldn't beat my only wall, but that's kind of just how it goes. So Slowbro is going to come back out. I don't think this Slowbro even has any more attacks that it can use. I think it has Calm Mind, and that's it, because he didn't manage his PP correctly. So I'm just going to go for Scald. Even though I'm at +6, he resists it, so I don't get the KO, and he just goes for a Calm Mind, which is the only real thing he can do. He's going to tick out from Burn. And then the last few Pokemon, I think he still has the Sylveon. I think he still has Mandibuzz, if I'm not mistaken. And there's just no way you can come back from this. I'm glad that we actually decided just to start off, though. Like, you know, we know that the Suicune Slowbro matchup is the only real matchup that's going on here. So we started out with our big, strong Pokemon, and from there, you know, one of us just swept, and luckily, well, not even luckily, my Pokemon has the advantage in that matchup, so it was me. So Scizor goes down, and what is the last two? It has to be Mandibuzz and Sylveon, right? And I'm so happy that I can KO this like Mandibuzz, because I just really don't like that Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that I hate to fight against more than anything. It ate my +6 Scald like it was a joke, and this Pokemon is just too bulky. If you guys ever want to tilt me, you guys just come and battle me and use a Mandibuzz, because I just thought if that's funny. If I ever use a Mandibuzz, I'm going to name it Amanda Buzz, like the name. That's That's a bad joke. But anyways, he runs with his Sylveon, and that is going to be the game. Like I said, this was the grand finals of the Sacanime, summer Pokemon tournament in the OU tournament. I won a couple like Worlds plushies that they had at the World Championships, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Shout outs to John. If I had like a Twitter or like any other social media for him, I would definitely link it. But I only ever see this guy at big tournaments, so shout outs to him. Thanks for playing. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'm starting to play a lot more singles because Sun and Moon is approaching, and I am going to be playing a ton more singles for Sun and Moon. So let me know what you guys think about this battle. Let me know if you guys want to battle me in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.